Hello, my internet peeps. How are you today? This is Scott Rideshare. So, it's been a while. Real briefly, we're in the dog days of summer down here in South Florida. And because of that, there are less passengers and still the same number of riders. So, it's harder to make the money, that you normally make. Gas prices are going up. And recently, I've lost 2 days. I had to replace my brakes. So I've had to work a lot more, okay? And that's one of the reasons why you haven't seen videos from me. That's kind of the bad news of why you haven't seen videos from me. The good news is that I've been working towards launching two other YouTube channels. And if all goes well, I'll have the second one launched tomorrow, and then the third one launched hopefully this weekend. Should be Saturday or Sunday. It depends on how things work out. And I don't really expect a whole lot of cross appeal. I'll put the links down below once they're launched on all my subsequent videos. But I'm not sure if you found this channel looking for rideshare information that you'd be interested in these other channels. I'll post it if you're curious. I will be contacting any friends or family watching this, letting them know about the channel and that it's live and what it's about, because I may have more interest in that. And these second and third channels will get a little bit more cross promotion because of the interest behind them, I think. And I plan from this channel from now on to post every other day. So I'll post every other day on this channel, and my second channel every other day, and then my third channel, if all goes well, I'll be posting every day. In either case, exciting stuff. I thought I was going to be posting a couple of weeks ago, and I've run into some snags, and everything's been nothing but snags, but it's been a wonderful learning experience. Anyway, today I'd like to tell you a story. I had posted a previous video about how I don't really like driving so much in the ports. And this is a story revolved around the ports. I didn't get into too much detail about the ports themselves. I'll post the link down below if I do it right to that previous video. This story happened probably about 2 weeks ago, and it's hard for me to explain to people like when I stopped working. What happens is that at a certain point there's a lull in the storm. You don't get as many requests. So what I'll do is I'll say, okay, let me head for home. I'll keep the apps on, both Uber and Lyft apps. I'll stay online. As I get to the spot, if I get a request, I'll just go ahead and accept it and keep going. There are times when I'm home 9:30, 9:45, and there are times where it's after 12 and I'm still going. So it's hard for me to tell people when I stop working. I stop working when I stop getting requests and I hit my house. There's even been times where I've been in my house and I've looked at my phone and said, oops, I forgot to go offline. And I haven't gotten a request in like over an hour. So it depends. Everything depends. You never know. In either case, this night, it was about 9:30 or so, 9:20. And I said, all right, let me head for home. I'll keep both apps on. Now, the good thing about where I live is that the closer I get towards home, the more likely it is that I'm going to pick up a ride. I'll generally go to places where I know are booming, and then once those booming places slow down, I'll head towards home, and usually I'll pick something up. So in either case, I'm heading for home, and I get the request, and I pull in to where the navigation says to pick the person up at. And it's right next to me. It's a barbershop, and the barbershop is closed. There's nobody in there. The lights are off, and I couldn't really see the sign on when it closed, but it was obvious no one was there. And I sent a text message saying that I'm here. Hello, I'm here. And I waited about 30 seconds or so, 45 seconds, and I get the request at the roadside. So I'm here. The barbershop is here. There's a sidewalk. I'm here. There's a road here for people to go in the opposite direction, and I'm on the road to go in this direction. Now, at the time of night it is and where that place was, there was unlikely there was going to be any traffic. But in any case, over here on this side, there was a sidewalk, and then there was a federal highway, the street. And I could see at the bus stop, there were 4 guys. And I kind of rolled down the window and said, is there a place for me to pull in to pick you guys up? There wasn't. I didn't want to stop in the middle of the street, safety first and all that. So they just kind of grabbed their stuff and came over. They had like knapsacks and couple of shopping bags, not a lot of heavy stuff, big stuff. And I pop the trunk and I get in. And in the meantime, I noticed that the name is not in English. It has, I'm guessing, Chinese at this point. So anyway, the first thing they ask me is, do you know if there's a difference between Seafarer's Commons and Seafarer's House? And no, I didn't. I had no idea. So they show me the address and I go, yeah, I can get you there. It's no problem. And we head off. And their English, the words that they were speaking were good. They enunciated well. It wasn't a heavy accent where I couldn't understand them. It was good. The fact is, though, is that it was very limited vocabulary. So it's sort of like talking to somebody who doesn't know English, but they can speak what they do know well, if that makes any sense. Anyway, we did a little bit of chit-chatting, but they were kind of mostly talking amongst themselves, and I'm just following the navigation system. And as we're getting closer, I'm thinking to myself, this looks like it's inside the port, which is strange because we're now like pretty close to 10 o'clock at this point. I thought it was weird. And I'm thinking Seafarer's House is probably some kind of motel or restaurant just outside the port. But let me just follow the navigation system and see where it leads me. Sometimes around the port, the navigation system tries to get you to cut through the port, through security to get to a highway or something. It's kind of wacky. It really is wacky around the port. Anyway, we're at the light and we're waiting to turn in. And the port is there, and it's telling me to go past that gate to get down, to where they need to go. And the guy goes, look, sir, and he shows me his phone, the navigation system. And at this point, I'm realizing that this is probably what they were kind of talking about back and forth to each other. They were talking about that quite possibly this Uber driver didn't know where he was going, and he was heading in the wrong direction. Anyway, it was telling me to make a U-turn and head back. And I'm looking at what it's showing me on the map, and I'm going, that looks like it's like behind the mall that's next to the port. Didn't make sense to me. And I showed him what my navigation was saying, and I go, look, it says the same thing. I said, I'll just go this way. It looks like it's the same thing. So I make the turn, and I see security closing the gate. And I look at the clock, and it says 10:01, and I go, oh, look, it's past 10. It's closed. And they're like, closed? They go, no, it's not closed. And I'm going, yeah, look, it's closed. So what they do is they hand me a brochure and they say, call this number. And I'm looking at the brochure, and the brochure is kind of funny looking. It looked like it was a food delivery service place into the port. That's what it looked like. And the address that it said it delivered to was the address that was on the navigation system and where I had to go. So I said, all right, let me call it and see what happens. So I called it, and I explained to the guy what was going on. And he goes, no, that office closed at 10. It's closed now. And I'm thinking to myself, what in the world is going on here? And he says, yeah, just tell your passengers that office is closed. It closes at 10. And the guy got off the phone as quickly as possible. So I tell them it's closed. And they're like, closed? I go, yeah, didn't they tell you that the port closes at 10? And he goes, no. I go, are you guys staying at a hotel? And they go, no, containment ship. And I'm going, containment ship? I'm thinking to myself, what kind of freaky-deaky underground illegal thing is this? These guys came over to this country on a container ship? I go, what the heck is that? That doesn't make any sense. So anyway, I said, let me follow your navigation system. I want to get these guys out of the car as quickly as possible because I'm starting to go, this doesn't seem right. So I followed a navigation system, and it's kind of doing like a little zigzag through the parking lot of the mall that's next to the port. And I know there's a hotel. You could take a road to get to a hotel that's kind of like behind, but that's not where it's taking me. It's taking me east of that. And we hit a point where it wants me to drive, and there's a fence there. I go, it's closed. So I turn around. I go, I think I know what to do. So I turn around, and they go, you've never been there before? I go, I've been to the mall. I've been to the port. I've never been to Seafarer's House. I don't know what that is. And we were kind of laughing about that. So anyway, I drove around to the north entrance of the port, and that was closed as well. So I go, guys, it's closed. And they go, can we talk to anyone? I go, talk to who? There's no one here. There's a big giant fence over there, and there's no one to talk to. He goes, can we walk through? I go, I don't think so. So one of the guys gets out to see while he's trying to see if he can walk through. And I sat there and I looked at the navigation system, and even though it wasn't telling us to go that way, I could see there was a way around on Ella Drive. Now I know Ella Drive. I've taken Ella Drive several times, but from where we were, the navigation, it wouldn't make sense for the navigation system to tell us Ella Drive. It doesn't know the port closes at 10. So in either case, we're standing there, we're sitting there, I'm waiting for this guy to come back, and I'm showing the guy who's sitting next to me, look, we can get there from this road. I said, I need to take Ella Drive, this road. So what I'm kind of doing at this point is I'm trying to do some pounding into their head, some reinforcement that the gates close at 10, but they need to take Ella Drive. So the guy gets back in the car and we start driving away. And I can hear them talking amongst each other. And then one of the guys in the back says, wrong way, sir. Now I understand something. This whole time that they're talking to me, they're very polite. They're very calm, extremely nice. I probably would have kicked them out if they were nasty at this point. But they were being very polite. Even though they're telling me wrong way, they weren't saying it in an angry way. It wasn't bad in any way. It was just wrong way, sir. It's kind of matter of fact, very calm. And I'm trying to get from them, what I got from them was that the ship leaves at 4 a.m. And I go, but it's a hotel, a motel. And they go, no, it's a containment ship. And I'm really confused because I'm thinking it's a motel like just outside the port and they have to get in the morning to get on the ship. I'm thinking, why would a cruise ship leave at 4 in the morning? That makes no sense. So anyway, they go 32nd Street. It's 32nd Street. And of course, the address on there said 32nd Street. So I said, all right, I'm going to take you to 32nd Street. I go, inside the port's closed, and here's 32nd Street. So I take them to the other side of Federal Highway, 32nd Street, and there's nothing there. I go, look, there's nothing here. It's not here. It's not 32nd Street. It's 32nd Street inside the port. And they go, okay. So then the guy's saying, follow this, because we're in a new position now. So he's got a new way to get me into the port, so he thinks. And I go, we went that way before. I'll show you. So I follow his navigation system, and it takes us to the first gate that we were stopped at. So now we were at the first gate twice. And I go, look, it's closed. It closes at 10. I go, didn't they tell you guys it closes at 10? And they were like, no, they didn't say anything. And again, they were very nice guys. We were limited in what we could communicate to each other, but their English was good. What they were saying, I could understand it. It was perfect English. Anyway, the guy sitting next to me says, sir, we got off the ship. It took us 3 minutes to get to TJ Maxx. He goes, we came right out and got right to TJ Maxx. I said, I know. I go, we were at that entrance already. We were at the TJ Maxx entrance already. I can show you if you want. I go, but we need to go to Eller Drive. And he's like, oh, TJ Maxx. I go, okay, I'll show you. So I turn around and I start heading back. I go, we were this way already. We've been this way. And then one of the other guys in the back who was kind of quiet, he says, he was saying, yes, we were here already. So we were driving on 17th Street, and I go, look, there's the TJ Maxx. And he goes, all right, go straight, because his navigation system is telling him a new way to get into the port, which was the old way we just came from. So anyway, we pull in, and I go, look, it's locked. I go, listen, let me try. Eller Drive, just trust me, Eller Drive. Now, at this point, I didn't care what they were going to say. I'm going to take them to Eller Drive because I was positive that where they needed to go was outside the port, and it was in that area. And the navigation system would have helped me get there once I got on Eller Drive. I was positive of that. So I start heading in that direction. And meantime, they asked me to call that brochure again. And I said, can you call? And they go, no, we can't call. So I dialed it again. And the guy wasn't answering. He was probably sitting there looking at the phone going, I ain't answering that. I said, these people are out of their mind. So anyway, I had it on speakerphone so they could tell no one was answering, and then it dropped a voicemail. And then I went to, I started driving, and they called somebody else. And I thought that was kind of funny that they couldn't call the brochure, but they could call whoever it was they called. And that person was on speakerphone. And they were talking in their native language. And then I hear South Side coming from the speakerphone. And the guy in the back seat says, South Side, sir, South Side. And I go, Ella Drive, let me take you there. I knew that was the right way. So anyway, I take him down Andrews towards Ella Drive. Now, I know most of you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, but this road is it's a 2-lane road. There's potholes in it. It's not very well lit. There's a lot of warehouses there. You're driving next to the highway. The highway's like elevated. You're driving next to it, and the railroad tracks are there. I could very easily see if you're someone from New York, from America, and I'm driving you down this road, that you're thinking to yourself, this dude is going to find a place to hide the body. I could see you thinking that. So meanwhile, now we got 4 guys who need to get on the ship by 4 a.m. Their driver is taking them all around, the place. And now he's taking them down this road that looks very ominous. So I can see they were probably very nervous. Anyway, the freight train starts going by, and we have to cross over the track. So we kind of have to wait for that. So we wait for the train to go by. We cross over the tracks under 595. We start heading east again. We go back over the tracks and under 595 again, and we pull up to the corner of where 595 kind of pulls into the port. So we kind of get to there and Ella Drive. Now there's a light there, and let me tell you a little something about me real quick. If I don't know where I'm going, okay, if I don't know where the destination is, if I've never been there, and I have a choice between going right or left or right, either one, 90% of the times, I'm going to pick the wrong one. So we get to the light, right? There's an 18-wheeler in front of us. And I go, look, Ella Drive, it's open. You see the entrance, it's open. And I could see that it was open. Now, the other way is to go straight across, and we couldn't see that entrance from where we were. So I said, look, I want to make sure these guys calm down. So I'm gonna take them to that one, even though I'm probably taking them to that one. So anyway, I took the turn. We pull up, and we're showing the guy the entrance, and he's not being phased at all. Security's not being phased. So apparently it was okay. There was no problem with it. But now they're explaining to the security what ship they want to get on. And he goes, oh, hold on. So he makes a phone call. And then I'm trying to explain to the guys that he's checking to make sure that ship is there. And they're like, oh, okay. So it seems like they're kind of calmed down and everything. Anyway, the guy gets off the phone and he goes, you're at the wrong spot. See? So anyway, we had to do a U-turn and go to the other entrance. We get to the other entrance and the guy says, we go through the same thing again, checking ID and all that good stuff. And he goes, okay, you're going to go straight ahead. You're going to see a crossroad. You're going to make a left at the crossroad. And then you're going to run into a security who's going to escort you to the ship. And we're like, okay, that seems easy enough, right? So I start driving and I don't see any crossroad. There's a fence on this side, right? Which means there's no crossroad. See, to me, a crossroad is you have a road going this way, you have a road going this way, and they cross each other. But that wasn't the case. There were some left-hand turns, but there was no crossroad. So I keep driving straight. And I get to a point where, no, this isn't it. There's nowhere for me to go. So I turned around. And meantime, the guys are going, look, that's our ship. So apparently they can see the ship they were supposed to get on. And it was kind of hidden a little bit, so I couldn't really see it. But from where they were, they could see it. And we followed a sign, and then we get to a point where it's dead ahead. And they're like, oh, there's the ship. And I look at the ship, and it literally is a containment ship. They were loading containers on there. And I'm thinking to myself, this is bizarre. But I mean, security let us through, so, what am I going to say? So anyway, we pull up, and these guys tipped me. They made it worth my while. I did turn off the app and go home. I wasn't driving after that. But they made that ride worth their while with the tip at the end. And we all kind of laughed. I was thinking the whole time that it was some kind of motel or restaurant that was outside the port. Turns out, no, they were literally working on the ship. They must have had a free shift. And they decided to come out and, spend some money, in America. And then no one told them that those gates closed at 10 o'clock. and they didn't know about the other entrance. But anyway, that's my story. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. You know you want to. You know you want to hit the like button. So go ahead and smash that button. Next to that is a button subscribe. Hit the subscribe button because you know you want to do that too. And then next to that is a little bell notification. Hit that. That lets Uber know to let you know whenever I post a new video, which from this point on should be every other day. Also, write some comments down below. I love reading the comments. I try to get back to you as soon as possible. There was one time somebody wrote a comment and I thought I got back to them. And then I saw a couple of weeks later I didn't. And then I felt bad because I didn't know whether to comment or not. But anyway, write a comment down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you like this story. This is Scott Rideshare. Have a great day.